The bodies of 2 hostages have been recovered from Gaza after nearly 2 years. Dual American-Israeli citizen 72-year-old Gadi Haggai and his partner, 70-year-old Judy Weinstein, have finally been brought back to Israel for a proper burial, providing just the first steps towards some sort of closure for friends and family members of Judy and Gadi. We are joined now by one of those friends, Adele Raymer, friend of Judy, joining us from Nerim in Israel. Adele, after 20 months, Judy and her partner, they are finally able to receive a proper burial. But for you, as a friend, how did you first hear about this news, and what was your initial reaction?
So thank you for having me, and thank you for talking about Judy and Gadi. It's so important. I found out from a WhatsApp, and honestly, I cannot remember from whom, because they just started coming fast and furious, and people started reaching out to me and telling me and sending the messages. So I found out this morning when it was released, and on the one hand, devastating. On the other hand, wonderful, because they'll finally have closure, but devastating because until you have a body someplace in the back of your mind, you think and hope maybe it's a mistake, maybe they're alive, maybe. So this is sort of closing the door, and like they say, closure.
It is such a difficult symbol, the fact that it is finally real now, and it is such important to not only talk about Judy and Gadi and all of the 56 hostages still in Gaza, but for you, how do you remember Judy? How do you describe her to those who are also grieving and want to hear more about who your friend was?
Judy was a person who gave. She gave so much of herself. She was so unselfish. She was smart and funny. She was a puppeteer. She used to teach English and mindfulness, and she taught English. We were colleagues and friends for decades, and she taught English to the most challenged of students, gave them a feeling of capability, a feeling of acceptance, a can-do feeling that they could do it. She developed a site with movies that teachers could use to bring mindfulness into the classrooms, and especially students who live where we live, who have been living through the trauma of rocket fire for 2 decades already, if not more. She understood how important the tool mindfulness would be. And so she did it with the students in her class, but she wanted to give more. She wanted other teachers who weren't that comfortable leading it. So she built a website together with the Center for Educational Technology. And any teacher today can go into that website and put on the board a mindfulness exercise when she feels that the students are busy and they need to focus, and do it with them. And they were such a love story, Judy and Gadi. And it was so, in a way, so appropriate that if they had to go through this terror and have this horrible thing happen, that they were together. But we need all of our people to come home. I write the number of the days on my shirt every day. We're 608 days. And this morning I woke up writing the number 58 because we still had 58 hostages, and then I crossed it out and wrote 56. And we have to get them all back, each and every one, those who are no longer alive for burial and closure, and those who are alive for healing.
608 days, it's an unfathomable number. Truly, it's unthinkable to even try and comprehend, especially for many of these family members, friends like yourself, who had been waiting for a proper burial. Waking up this morning, can you even begin to describe the feeling of finally now having a place to visit, to honor your friend? You know, most people around the world, they take something as simple as a gravestone for granted. But for 20 months, Judy and Gadi, they have not had a gravestone. So now having this place to honor, what does that mean to you?
So we don't have it yet. The funeral has not happened yet, and I'm so grateful to the IDF for risking their lives and going there and bringing back the bodies of these two precious people who, it's miraculous that they were able to find them, because after 608 days, and with all the bombing that's going on in Gaza, to be able to bring their bodies, this is what we call a mitzvah for their families, for their loved ones. And indeed, I'm not a cemetery person. Of course, I'll go to the funeral, and Judy's here. She's here inside me. And she will live on inside teachers who use the mindfulness in their classrooms. So I'd really like to call out to teachers to use, it's called Class Relax, and to use them with their students, and in that way perpetuate Judy's life work.
Her legacy can live on through these young minds here in Israel. Adele Raymer, such a beautiful message that you are sharing with us this evening. Thank you so much for joining us on The Rundown.
Thank you for having me.
Difficult stories to share as 56 hostages still remain captive in the Gaza Strip, but this is just one step closer to closure for some of those family members.